The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. After the United States of America took credit for bombarding and capturing the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, which we know, according to reports, it was a planned thing since last year, so they were able to get some bodyguards in his team, the security team, the people who were trained to take a bullet for him. They sold him out for 10 million to 20 million US dollars, and that was why it was so easy, and not because the Delta Force conducted any special operation in capturing the president like they made it seem. Finally now named the next president that will be on his next list. According to Donald Trump, the next president will be Petro, the president of Colombia, because to him, this man is not cooperating with the United States of America. They have this back and forth, you understand. He is not just trying to do as the United States of America wants. So for that matter, he is on his list. He is the next president that he's going to be targeting. But the president of Colombia, Petro, also came out, also responded and daring Donald Trump to bring it all out. According to him, he is ready for Donald Trump and he's waiting for Donald Trump, and anything that he has, he should bring it all out. He's waiting for him. This is a president, a sitting president, somebody who is preaching peace and is preaching democracy. We saw when he came telling the world the number of conflicts that he has resolved. So for that matter, the Nobel Peace Prize should be given to him, only for him to turn around within some few months to be doing this. If it were to be an African leader who spoke in this manner, we would have seen these people claiming this person is not a democratic leader, and for that matter, he is violating the international whatever, and we would have seen the way the whole world would have responded, claiming this person is bringing all sort of things. But this is the same person who is preaching democracy, going after leaders in the world. So it's like, now if you are strong enough with all the might like Korea, China, Russia, you can just go to any other nation and be on them if they don't obey the rules and regulations of you. So it's only in Africa that we cannot voice out our displeasure, because they still see us, you understand, the way they see the African. If not, we don't expect Donald Trump to be speaking in this manner, going after leaders, simply because these leaders are fighting to protect their countries and they are not allowing him to have control over the resources.
You already talked to Nicolas Maduro. Have you considered talking to the president of Colombia, who you call a drug leader?
No, I haven't really thought too much about him. He's been fairly hostile to the United States, and I haven't given him a lot of thought. He's going to have himself some big problems if he doesn't wise up. Colombia is producing a lot of drugs. They have cocaine factories that they make cocaine, as you know, and they sell it right into the United States. So he better wise up, or he'll be next. He'll be next too. And I hope he's listening. He's going to be next.
I'll wait for you here if you want. I don't accept invasions. I don't accept missiles. I don't accept assassinations. I accept intelligence. Come here to speak with intelligence, and we'll receive you, and we'll speak on equal terms and with real figures, not with lies. Stop being deceived by the political mafias from Colombia, because they condemned us to 700,000 deaths, to being the most unequal country in the world.
Obviously talking about Nicolas Maduro, who has been in court in New York today. He has described himself as a decent man. Do you think he's a decent man?
He's the president of Venezuela, and the issue is the illegality of what the United States have done. It isn't whether he's a nice man or a bad man or a good man or whatever. The question is, international law does not allow one country, even the USA, to go in and kidnap the president of another country. If they do that, how are they going to complain if anybody else does the same anywhere else?
Let me take on both of those things if I can. It does matter, surely, if he's a decent... I mean, is he a friend of yours? Would you come with...
I've met him. I was interviewed by him on a television program many years ago while I was at the UN Human Rights Council, and he was deputy to Chavez, as you know, and the country has obviously had enormous problems, not least because of the huge level of sanctions by the USA on it, and that has created a lot of problems. Now,
would you describe him as a friend, though, or an ally?
I don't know him well enough to be able to say that.
Okay. Surely it's a good thing that he's not president of Venezuela anymore,
But
given
that should be,
he is not a nice guy.
But that should be a decision for the people of Venezuela, not a decision for the US president, who is not interested in human rights. He's interested in oil. Now, if the US was serious about dealing with human rights abuses, which they are not, they're not anywhere in the world.
Yeah, but are you? That's my point.
Of course I am.
Well, you have to. Well, why don't you say categorically he was a pretty evil
You seem to
dictator?
be trying to move this whole conversation away from the reality of what Trump has done. Invaded another country.
If you answer the question, if you condemn him, I'll move on.
Look, of course the human rights abuses are wrong. Of course they are. I've always said that. I've never supported human rights abuses anywhere for that matter.
Nicolas Maduro is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. He stole that election last year.
It's not the assessment made by everybody in Venezuela. There are people who clearly do support Maduro and still do support Maduro. That is
do you think he's the legitimate president?
Do you think he's moved the whole conversation onto protecting Donald Trump?
Because you're saying that
you're protecting Donald Trump. You're protecting Trump.
Well, your party is claiming that he needs to be returned back to Venezuela, that he is the legitimate head of government, that he is the president.
Constitutionally, he is the head of government.
I'm saying to you that in 2019 and 2024...
Who are we to decide?
It's not we. It's lots of international organizations who follow these elections, lots of democratic countries around the world say that President Maduro stole that election.
And lots of countries around the world are now, today, saying that what the US has done is illegal, is wrong, and is a violation of all aspects of international law. Why don't you concentrate on that as well?
The United States of America is making it look as if they run the world, because looking at the things that their leaders are doing, especially under Donald Trump, it seems like they run this world. So we need to obey them. Whatever that they want, we need to say yes to the emperor. But like the Brazilian president said, in this world there is no emperor, but there are people who are just bent on playing that role in the world. But the world has changed. This is 21st century and everybody is fighting for total control over their resources. When the people in the United States of America are voting, we don't see other countries deciding who should lead the United States of America. But when the presidents finally come, they want to now lead, control any other parts of the world. And it's not going to happen, because nobody will allow you to control him or her in that manner in this 21st century. And that is why we are seeing these people rising against the leaders in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, because of seeing that when these are all in all came into office, they decided to kick all these people, the troops that they have, and close all their bases in their respective countries, which is not going down well with them, because through these military bases they are able to maneuver their way out, control the leaders, and to continue to be extorting the resources in these countries in the name of giving you peace, which we know even in the presence of these people, all these activities that they claim are still happening. When these bases were still there, we're seeing that the Sahel states were still having these terrorist activities and all that. So what shows that these people are actually in any part of any country with their bases to protect the people, if not to carry the interests of the people out. So the way things are going in this world, we need all to come together to fight against what is happening, because we don't expect a new form of colonization in this modern world to happen again. Resources in every country belong to the people in that country. So it's like things are getting interesting, and we are seeing how this man Petro is also responding and also warning Donald Trump that he is ready for him. Now it's like there's no country in the world that fears the United States of America like they used to do. Now everything is changing, and we all are ready to make sure we protect the resources that we have in our respective countries. It's not going to be business as usual, where we see other people to be superior, and for that matter we need to respect these people and to hand over our resources on a silver platter to these people. So now we are also expecting the African leaders those in the democratically elected to also rise up and fight to defend Africa, like we are seeing happening in the world. But with what happened in Venezuela, I know by now majority of these leaders in the democratically elected are so scared. So that's the latest around the world. And in Colombia,